G'day everybody, Andy Maher here. Welcome to episode 8 of The Blueprint, proudly brought to you by our very, very fine friends at Hyundai. Joining me as always, Mark Maclure, one of the greats of our footy club. And this week on Sunday, we go out to Homebush out there to Spotless Stadium to take on the GWS Giants. And you'll be there, no doubt.
They got another contract, Spotless, have they?
Funny how they managed to find
a few of those.
Getting him in.
Oh, no, it'll be good. It'll be an interesting game. GWS have improved. The last couple of weeks have been terrific.
The last three have been good.
They played against Hawthorn, though. They really pushed Hawthorn, and the last couple of weeks they've had a victory, and especially a really good victory last week. So I'm looking forward to a good contest for our blokes. And our blokes have been good too.
They have. They've been competitive the last couple
against. A couple of big boys up forward, it'll worry us.
Well, that's where we might be a bit gettable. And we'll have a talk about our tall defenders in a moment. But Patton and Cameron last week were outstanding against Brisbane, and we know that this is going to be
this is the pillar of strength they've got. They've got Patton there, who's a monster, who's struggled a little bit, and then they've got. There's Patton taking another one right in front of goals. I mean, if you can take marks in the goal square, you are very, very handy. And then we've got Patton again, another one as well. So, look, the idea of that, and this bloke's a star.
He's a champ. He's a potential champion of the game. I mean, he can do everything, ground level, air balls, inside 50, on the ground, outside 50 from long range. He can do it all. And he's nice and aggressive too. In fact,
run.
They're both aggressive. That's the thing you like about him. And
they've got board as well.
They have, which is... They've got an embarrassment. And that Rory Loeb too. They've got another one who bobbed up the other day. It is going to be an area where we're going to be tested, but I think all Carlton supporters will take an enormous amount of stock from what we're seeing from Sam Rowe in the last couple of weeks.
He's been the beneficiary of playing 4 and 5 weeks in a row in a spot where he has down at half-back. He started off very negatively, but he's got better with his composure and taking marks. He's now actually takes a mark instead of punching that one away. That's another free one he pushed away. And another one in there he pushed off. You know, Roughhead's no snack, you know, and he pushed him away quite comfortably, and he's done a very good job down there. He's building his confidence and becoming a player.
So there's a couple of things I love about him, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. One thing he does all the time, he's prepared to come off his man to get over and make it a 2-on-1 to support his teammates. Yep. He absolutely loves doing that. And the Geelong game, look, he was tested by Tommy Hawkins early in that game, but he didn't chuck it in. Like, he didn't drop his bundle at any stage in that game. In fact, the second half he became a really valuable contributor.
And he went forward and kicked a goal.
Yeah, he did.
Which is important. But, you know, the thing about that, Tommy Hawkins is going to get a few.
Of course
he's got everyone he's actually played on.
Yep.
He only kicked 4 in one quarter, but it was a dominant quarter. But that was a good learning process for him. You're going to play on the best, you learn a bit off it. And we still hung in that game. We should have won that one too.
No, we should have, but for the umpires, but we're not going to talk about it. We're amongst friends here, aren't we? What about the umpires in that game?
If you're going to blame the umpires...
I'm going to blame the umpires. I'm not an umpire. I'm not an umpire basher. I never have been. I've never been. But the umpiring, no, I won't start
now. It's our fault. We didn't set up properly in a couple of areas.
There was the one, I know. And Brock's admitted that he, based on the tape, he probably should have been in a slightly different position at that Joel Selwood set up. Anyway, let's not talk about that. You mentioned the value of game time.
Yep.
There's a balancing act to be managed here between now and the end of the season. We saw Dylan Buckley before he probably fatigued and then hurt his hand, being a genuine beneficiary of, you know,
good run,
sustained,
good confidence.
Casbolt, we've seen it. Doherty, we've seen it. Menzel, we've seen it.
Yes. Once he got the red vest off, he was fine.
Yeah, no, exactly. Are you of the view that you'd like to see another couple given 3 or 4 weeks if they can possibly find a way of doing it?
I'd like to see Johnson. I'd like to see Graham as well. Those two, and apparently there's a young Irishman goes okay.
Goes all right.
So those guys should be actually just tasted, get a taste for it, and the ones you think can hang in and make it, give them 4-week block, and play them and let them have the confidence that they can understand that it's not as hard as everyone thinks it is. You just got to get up to the pace and the speed of the game and understand what you can actually do, because your confidence just rises each week as you go, or sometimes it gets knocked down.
Yeah, I think they call it the farm system in baseball, where they've got their kids in the development and they're developing for a reason, and they've got them at a pace. And you look at the way Geelong have been able to sort of drift their players into the team. They give them a little lick of the ice cream early in their careers, and then they go back, and then they come in again, and then they go back, and then 3 or 4 years later they pop up at 21 or 22.
And they're perfect.
And you go, where'd they get this bloke from? But he's been there the whole time. And Hawthorn, I guess, have been beneficiaries of that as well this year in particular.
I like Mick's attitude that you don't gift games.
I know that.
You don't gift a game,
I know that, but
you've got to earn it. But when you earn that game, you shouldn't be out the next week. You should have actually stay for 1 or 2 or 3. If you've earned it, you should get it for that time.
Let's have a look at the road ahead. We're not getting ahead of ourselves and thinking that let's not talk top 8 or anything like that. Let's just have a look at the next 5 and what does it look like?
Spotless Stadium, that's a winnable game.
Well, it won't be a pushover.
No, but it's a winnable game, and that's one we should be going there and thinking, hey, this is a chance for us. Collingwood, well, we've beaten Collingwood a lot of times when we've been on the bottom of the ladder or wherever we've been. Both sides have been up and down. St Kilda is a winnable game, absolute must-win. Sydney, well, I wouldn't have my house on it,
Right.
or yours, or anyone else's. But you know what? Things happen in games. You know, you can actually, but you should never give up. And we've shown that against Hawthorn and Geelong that we can compete against the better sides, and we've done that very well. I think North's a winnable game. They're up and down like a yo-yo. They don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
And are they contenders for the flag? I don't think so. They make their 8, but just scraping.
What do you want to see? Do you want? I mean, in the last 2 weeks, we've been in the game. We could have closed the game out against just before we get going. We could have closed the game out against Geelong. We were unable to do it. Hawthorn, we get 8 points in front. Matty Watson has that kick for goal in the third quarter. That puts us 2 and a bit goals in front if he kicks it. We just haven't been able to close games out when we've had Brisbane the week before that. We're 16 points up with 8 minutes to go in the final quarter. We let that game slide through our fingers.
You know what happens? Sometimes people want the ball to come to them, and then some people don't want it to come to them. And I think we've got a lot of those who don't want it to come to them. They don't want to have the magnitude of the moment on them sometimes, and we've got to get them out of the way and get people in who want it, who are comfortable doing it and comfortable wanting to have the ball in their hands when you have to win a game.
This is a question without notice.
Of course it is.
Did you play in the Princes Park game in 1981 against Essendon? Were you playing that day?
Yes, I was.
Well, why didn't you get the footy when we were? Where were you?
Because they kept kicking it to Essendon blokes.
Right. Have you ever thought what actually happened in the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game?
I know exactly what happened. And Piggy Harms kept kicking it to his mate, Kenny Hunter.
Right.
And they kept kicking on the wrong side. They had to kick to a side where the wind blows and then just keep knocking it out, bottle it up. He kept kicking it to Kenny because Kenny was on his own out one side.
The offensive side of the ground?
Yeah.
And Essendon kept saying, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Oh, beautiful.
No, and Fitzy gave away a free kick right in front of goals.
Ridiculous.
It all sort of... Hey, listen, that happens, but the next week it didn't happen, I can assure you. And that's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone makes mistakes.
All right, let's go okay on Sunday. I look forward to seeing how we go. Thanks for coming on again, and we look forward to catching up.
It's been an interesting year, hasn't it?
It has.
It has, and we've had a lot to talk about, and we've had a lot to encourage, and some kids coming through, which are good. Juddy back, wow. It's been fantastic.
I think the footy club's got a good headspace about where we're at the moment.
And let me tell you, that 150 night was special.
It's been magnificent.
It was great.
That's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching. Good luck to the boys on Sunday against the Giants. We'll be back next time. See you then.